And we're live.
I want to hear Harley's take on the whole GameStop thing. Harley laid out Bitcoin in a way that I have tried to repeat for other people. The whole, first you want bartering, then you want gold, then you want pieces of paper printed in a special way. No. Hashes and strings of math solutions are what you really want. That's the thing that you want now to work for. How are you feeling about this GameStop attempt to stick it to the man, Redditor's expertise?
Well, you know what happened when I told people, I was always like, it's not financial advice. Yeah, buy Bitcoin. And I bought Bitcoin and I bought other things too. And I did put my Bitcoin on a wallet, but other things that I bought on a website, one that my brother had on the website and a friend of mine had on the website, that website got robbed and that money's gone. And it wasn't that crazy. It was a couple thousand, which would have been a couple thousand more now.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, damn, I'm not, and I always tell people it's not financial advice. I mean, you'd have to be dumb to listen to the sauce boss on what to do with your money. But that GameStop stuff is I think about it, man. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I would sit down and I would fucking play this shit. I would just put my time to it. Cause when you see stuff when things go up 3,000%, and I think GameStop at its lowest to its highest with 3,000%, if you had $1,000 in there, that's $3 million. How crazy is that? And I think if I was a guy, if I didn't have anything else going on, I don't think I would deal drugs, but I would probably sit down. I'm sorry that I'm comparing this to a drug dealer. I don't know why, but I would sit down and I would play that shit. You don't get odds like this at a casino, and yeah, it is gambling and dangerous, but if you're taking small money and doing it, I feel like there's a whole job that can be done there. And all I see when I look at these graphs and shit and GameStop or, AMC and the crypto Dogecoin, I'm just there's opportunity here.
I think that here's an interesting thing to me. So normally when you have the experts, right? The people who work at Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, or whoever the fuck they are. And then me, I feel like a sheep dealing with wolves, right? They're the experts. They do this all day, every day. That's where the expertise is. But anytime you have even a pro against the internet, the collective knowledge of the internet, there is knowledge to be tapped in there that is every bit as good as the pros, right? There are weaponized autists who are finding, some guy who did a short play, who did a short play on GameStop incorrectly and caught them with their pants down, and they'll do it again and they'll do it again. And this pump and dump, I mean, the pros have been doing that on a attempt to be subtle level for ages, but the internet will collectively do it on a non-subtle level and just pump and dump shit all the time. Are they doing it with, is it pronounced Dogecoin? Dogecoin. They'll do it with Dogecoin. They'll do it with GameStop. They'll do it with AMC. They'll do it with whatever. They'll pump and dump this stuff all the time and, manipulate the market. And it's just interesting to see the collective buying power and the collective knowledge of the internet now compete on a more even footing, perhaps, with the pros, where, they have a lot of money at their disposal, but so does the internet. And shit, is this a permanent sea change in the balance of power on this stuff? Maybe not.
I think they'll probably change whatever laws or requirements are needed to do stuff like this to protect those firms in the future.
No, I don't think anything's going to change. I don't think anything can change. What's interesting is how much it's dropped since we spoke about this last week. I want to say, obviously it was after hours because we begin this at 7 Eastern. But what was it at? 250, 300?
Almost 300 or something.
It was 350 or something.
Yeah, I think 350. Yeah, maybe 350, 400, something like that. And we were discussing is this thing about to hit 1,500 or is it about to bottom out? And I think we kind of agreed that probably bottom out. Maybe we should short this, but none of us did anything. It's at $50 right now.
Yeah, 40s aftermarket. It looks like it's over. And I don't want to be the, people get mad if you say anything but hold, but it's I think the move was to sell a week ago. And I think
so too. But I think if you're sitting there now and it's you got $50,000 left instead of whatever, $750,000, it's keep holding. Maybe a miracle will happen and we'll bounce back up to 8 million. Like you know,
the stock was at 17 and the experts spotted it and said, this is wildly overvalued. I think this thing's going to 10. I just don't know when, but I think it's going to 10 in the next 2 months.
Is it public how much those firms have covered yet of their shorts? Or no?
I don't think they've covered yet. Someone said that they were continuing to short, like and just trying to wait out the internet.
So I think it's public quarterly because they made a mistake. I'm not sure about this, but I know that the internet is trying to get you to hold by telling you they're still short, they're still in a squeeze, hold, diamond hands. And that's good for me. I'm pumping up the stock. I don't want supply out there. I want you to hold. I want him to hold. And then I'll do whatever the fuck I want. But
I want everybody to hold so I can watch what happens.
Yeah, I want no part of this. I'm glad that I wasn't able to buy. I'm glad Robinhood was a complete piece of shit because I was going to buy 3 shares at $3.40 the other day just to like be part of this, just kind of be fun to watch. You lose $1,000. It's not the end of the world. But
same time, I was going to jump in. Just like I was like, yeah, it's crazy. Let me get in there too. Like that same day where they stopped it. I think it was just in the USA, but I was going to download like a Canadian app when that happened, and then I just stopped and I was like, let's just see life play out right now.
I was on the other side. I was like, this stock is not worth this much money, and eventually water will find its level. Let's short it. But I wasn't so confident that I wanted to actually put my money on it. That was just my guess.
Yeah. I wasn't confident in anything. I just wanted to be like, like you put money on a ball game. Now you're kind of you're more part of the discussion. It was kind of that thought process. I was like, I'll just buy 3 shares at $3.40 or whatever. And I go to log into Robinhood and it's asking for my banking information. I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't know it. I was like, Kitty handles my finances. And I'm like messaging Kitty and she's fucking asleep. And it's like this trail of messages like, I need my banking information. I need my banking information. I don't know my login. I don't know my logins. I need my money. And like by the time she gets it to me, I'm like, it's too late. I missed it.
It's lower now.
I know. I didn't tell her that though. I didn't want her to be like, well, it's a good thing I was asleep, huh? Saved you $1,000.
That victory. Certainly not.
I was like, I missed it. It.
Well, let's double down. Let's all put thousands into Dogecoin.
It's already been pumped.
Has it? I don't know. What is Dogecoin worth?
Like 4 cents last time I looked.
So now's the time to buy.
Oh, it's 5 cents.
Okay, 5 cents.
5.2 cents. Time to buy.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. No.
If you go back to January 27th, it was worth less than 1 cent. It was 0.7, but almost 0.8 cents. And now it's 5. So
someone could have made a ton of money.
Yeah. But Dogecoin was started as literally a joke. What was happening is all these people were like firing up the next Bitcoin. I think, did Facebook make a Bitcoin? A lot of people just made their own cryptocurrency. So the weaponized autists on Reddit were like, I'm going to join in. Our motto is a cute dog and it's the doggy coin and whatever. And it was never like, there's no technical basis on which it's better. I don't know that any of this stuff is based on anything. That's why I'm not in crypto. There'll be experts on this technology who are like, man, you don't understand. This is really the best one because of some sort of secure contracts. And this one is more anonymous and this one's more decentralized and this and that. And I don't know that any of these prices are based on how good the tech is. I haven't seen that relationship yet. But it's like all that expertise is wasted. It's really just all based on who else will be a buyer, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're really hitting the nail on the head because the thing is, like you said, as far as I understand, the things that make these various cryptos worth more or less is the technology that's backing them, and the decentralization or the anonymization or the security protocols in general. I think if
Bitcoin
Elon
is
Musk,
the worst tech, right?
Dogecoin?
Bitcoin has like the worst tech and it's the most expensive.
That's something I have no idea about.
Okay.
I would imagine Dogecoin has the worst tech because it's literally a cartoon dog that Reddit made a crypto for. So I would imagine it literally has the worst. But I don't know. I think what's going to make a crypto explode is when someone finds a really good utilization where it's the way to do this thing. Like if Elon Musk starts his Mars colony, right? And the way we transfer funds from Earth to Mars is cryptocurrency. And I would imagine that that's like the best way to do that sort of thing. Like if they're mining on Mars, sending raw resources back at some point in 100 years, and we need to pay the Martian miners, we're not sending US dollars, right? We're probably going to send Mars coin or some shit.
I mean, why?
When there's a purpose. What do you mean why? So that the miners can get paid. Because we're I don't know, beaming money through space might want some sort of secure.
I feel like Elon Musk.
The aliens could get it, Taylor.
I feel like Elon Musk mobilizes people like so much, you know. Like I saw, like he was like Dogecoin to the moon, and everyone's like, "Oh, now let's do it." And I find that such a like, it's so like, it's. I mean, maybe it's. I have no idea. It's hard for me to comment because like I'm just like some fucking guy talking, so I'm never like, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm up here and be like, "Well, this is what." I just think there's something weird about like some dude who could be like high and he's a billionaire, just like saying a thing. And then people being like, now is when I put in my money into something, you know? And I feel like he's very blasé. And it's not a knock on him. I think the guy's cool, you know, interesting. But like, it's just like, he's so blasé and says things. And like words have weight, especially his. And people move when he says things. And I don't know if it's always going to be good, you know?
So when your voice carries more weight, most people start to be a little more responsible with their voice. Like they recognize it. Elon doesn't, and it makes him interesting and exciting and dangerous and
interesting for sure. Yeah,
so,
exciting and
he'll
dangerous.
Go and he'll say shit that gets him fined in a big way and penalized by the SEC. You know, he basically pumped up GameStop and Dogecoin, and it, like I don't know, he'll talk about selling Tesla and going private or going issuing more, what kind of loans he has and in market manipulating ways. And but as a regular person, I don't know if he's a mastermind, like pulling all these puppeteer strings, getting us to think it, or if he's just a little unplanned. You know?
Well, his Twitter. One thing I do think is, I don't want to say manipulative, but it could be that. I'm just trying to like not commit to what I'm saying so much here. But it is kind of like, if you look at his Twitter, it's kind of like he's like Gen Z. Like he's like it's almost like you're reading like a 22-year-old's Twitter, like the memes and stuff that he posts. And I do think that that's, you know, sure, he's probably like that and probably is fun like that. But in a way, it's like, you know, to relate to certain people and speaking in their language, I don't want to say is manipulative because it could be helpful in communicating with someone, but it does come off like a weird, like little manipulative in a way, because I look at his Twitter, it's like, is that really how you are? You know? Like I'm like, you know, I'm 36 and sometimes I find myself doing things where I'm like around people like younger than me or whatever. And, you know, you're trying to connect, but it never results in, you know, low key encouraging them to do something with their money or anything like that. But yeah, you know, he posts memes and stuff and then people make decisions about their life. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wish everyone on the internet who bought GameStop made a lot of money. Like that's what I want for them. All these random Redditors to cash out at the top, but I don't think that's what I predict for them, and that sucks. So, oh well.
Dogecoin up another 2 fractions of a cent
since we started looking.
I didn't know he was thinking so much about Dogecoin.
So
he's got a picture of him as Mufasa holding up Simba with the Dogecoin on it, just being like, "Yep, I'm propping up Dogecoin. I'm Dogecoin."